Hello and welcome back to the AA NBA podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Hardy.
And I'm Aditya.
And nothing of note has happened since we last recorded, I don't think.
About 2 weeks ago, we were at Game 2 of the NBA Finals, I believe. Since then, nothing has really happened. It's been a boring 2 weeks.
Yeah, they kind of just canceled the finals.
Yeah.
No, the fucking Milwaukee Bucks won the finals. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was hyped about that. Nobody else was in our friend group because everybody wanted the Suns to win. I was the only one that wanted the Bucks to win. No, yeah. But I was the only one that's been rooting for the Bucks this entire playoffs.
That is correct, yeah. Granted, I will say, while I was rooting for the Suns, you can't not like Giannis.
Yeah,
he is like the most likable personality in the NBA right now. And even though...
Likable superstar, at least. I mean, Boban.
Yeah, but Boban's not in the news that much, you know what I mean?
That's true.
But, like, even though I wanted Chris Paul to get his ring, I was still happy for the Bucks, except for Coach Bud.
Yeah, I saw something after the parade, and it was like, look at how happy all these guys are, and, like, Bud's happy, and it seems like the players do like Bud.
Well, because they won a championship.
Yeah, but I feel like if it was a really toxic situation... Like, he's just a shitty coach.
Yeah, no, he's not like a...
Like, Jason Kidd was a shitty coach, and he was a toxic personality.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he got fired. And that's why I don't know why he got hired as well. But Bud, like, the players seem to like him. Like, I definitely can't say he deserves to be fired because, like, yes... if they did anything other than, like, lose the finals in 6 games, he probably would have gotten fired. Like, losing the finals, like, if they had gotten swept, he would have been probably fired. It would have been a mutual parting of ways, but they would have been fired. Or he would have been fired.
Even in Atlanta, like, there was never any reports of players not getting along with him or, like, him having any outbursts or anything. He seems like a likable guy. He's not that good at coaching in the playoffs.
Yeah, but... Giannis.
Yes.
Let's talk about Giannis, because Giannis was the only one of the Bucks' big three that had any sort of consistency throughout this playoffs.
Yes.
Except for Jrue Holiday, who was consistently pretty bad.
Well, he was good on defense.
Yeah, good on defense, not on offense. But is this one of the 5 best finals performances ever, would you say?
Ever?
Because I was looking through it, and it is up there. Like,
it's up there, but
because it's like 2016 LeBron, and I'm only counting guys who won. Because, like, 2018 LeBron was great, but he lost, and, like, through no fault of his own, he lost, and he got swept.
Yeah. Like,
you can't really put a guy, even though he averaged, like, crazy finals, it was 4 games and he got swept.
Like, for example, Jerry West is the only player to ever win finals MVP and lose.
Exactly. But I was like, okay, 93 Michael Jordan, because that's probably his best individual playoff run. 2016 LeBron, 2011 Dirk, 95 Hakeem, 2019 Kawhi, and then this year's Giannis. Those are like the 6 that really came to mind. Maybe 1980 Magic Johnson, because that was his rookie year, and he like played center in the closeout game in the finals.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know every single finals performance off the top of my head. Like, I'm sure if I were to look back on it, I'd see, like, some insane Larry Bird performance, and I'd be like, yeah, that's top 5 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like it was truly... Because it's not just, like, statistics or even, like, what happens in the game. It's also, like, what it kind of means. Like, this finals had 2, and it's, like, I think, first of all, I think that this 2016 finals is the most disgustingly overrated playoff series in the history.
Because it's bad until the last 5 minutes of Game 7.
Bad until the last 5 minutes of Game 7. Games 1 through 6 were bad.
Yeah.
They were horrible. Game 7 was pretty good, and then the last 5 minutes are iconic. They have 2, like, league-defining plays. Mm-hmm. But... this series, and I look in, like, all of the iconic finals series really only have, like, 3 or 4 great games. Yeah. Like, there are, like, you can count on there being at least 2 or 3 blowouts. 2019 was pretty much a close game every single game, and it was 6. Like, I'd rather have a close 6 than a blowout every game and then a good Game 7.
Yeah. Well, because it just makes for a more entertaining product the whole way through.
Yeah.
But, like... to bring up your point about, like, impact it has, that's why I feel like I can't really say ever, because it's hard to judge the impact of a player or a game when you're not witnessing it live or even, like, alive in the moment. Like, we can talk about, like, at least I can talk about any finals from like 2008 onwards because I was consciously watching then.
Yeah.
But I can't talk about the impact Michael Jordan had on like the 1993
Yeah, exactly.
finals.
And that's why like I kind of avoid talking about like the GOAT debate because I think part of it is just like spectacle.
Yeah.
Like if you were alive to watch like I'm going to remember this playoff run for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like I am going to remember like watching Giannis like hold up that trophy and watching his block and that alley-oop, which are the two defining plays of this entire playoffs, really. And like, you know, in 20 years when Fraud Tedecumpo 69 on Twitter is like, you know, because players from the 90s have like hate accounts on Twitter now, and it's like people who weren't alive to watch them. When like Fraudis on Tedecumpo on Twitter is like, oh, Giannis's 2021 fraudulent Mickey Mouse playoff run. Like, it's gonna be... people do that for everything. People find something to nitpick, and
it's just based on generation. Like, someone from the 50s is gonna think Bill Russell is the GOAT. Someone from the 70s is gonna think Kareem is the GOAT. Someone from the 80s is gonna think like Magic or Bird is the GOAT, and then so on and so forth. It's just who you watched.
Yeah, and I feel like... But I do feel like this is one of the most... I think it's definitely the most iconic... Outside of Kawhi in 2019, I think of the last 5 years, and I'm saying 5 years like 2017 on, I think it is probably the best single-player playoff run. Just because, like, he didn't have a great team. Like, he had a very good team, but... Like, and maybe history will remember Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton as playing a lot better than they did, but they had some stinker games.
Yeah.
Particularly Drew Holiday, who did play good defense. But when the Bucks needed his offense, he could not get it going.
And we're talking finals runs when they win. Just want to reiterate that. Because otherwise you can go back to guys like LeBron in 2018 or even Jimmy in the 2020 finals.
Yeah, Allen Iverson in 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's talk about the Suns now, because...
What a collapse.
Yeah.
Oh, mama. If Chris Paul didn't play like an absolute trash can in Game 4, they could probably win the series.
Look, I think a 2-0 comeback is at least a little bit more fun to watch sometimes than a 3-1. Like, a 3-1 is great, but a 3-1 also usually has a lot of blowouts.
Yeah.
A 2-1 comeback can be like a team goes like in 2006, the Heat went down 2-0 against the Mavericks. They won 4 straight. Especially if you win 4 straight. Like 4 straight, it's not better than 3-1. I got ahead of myself there, but it is really cool. And watching a team, especially a team win 4 straight, like the Raptors did that against the Bucks in 2019 Eastern Conference Finals. It's cool to watch a team kind of figure it out and watch one team just slowly watch the lead that they got.
The Suns and 4 guy must have been going through it.
Yeah.
I feel like in the case of this playoffs, the Bucks, except for the first round, went down every series before they won. And I feel like as a Bucks fan, that has to be the most stressful thing ever.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because especially in the finals...
Especially that first Hawks game where Trae Young had like 50 and they just could not do anything.
And like, especially in the finals, when you go down 2-0, that is not a thing where you're like, okay, we're still in this. That's something where you're like, the fuck is this guy?
It's over.
Yeah, like, it's got to be the most stressful experience for a team's fan base.
Yeah, I made a TikTok. I was like, yeah, I'm never going to say a series is over after 2 games, but this is about as over as it can feel. Because it was like... 2 games, back-to-back blowouts, and it was like the Bucks just could not get any... Well, Giannis could, but the rest of the Bucks couldn't. And even Giannis wasn't that great in Game 1. He was good, but he also didn't take a ton of shots. He was still kind of getting his sea legs back. So where do the Suns go from here? Do you think this is a team that's going to be...
We actually talked about... Well, I don't know if me and you have directly talked about this, but me and Colin have been talking about this a lot because we have very opposing viewpoints. Reports are that Mikal Bridges wants a max. I am under the viewpoint of trade him, see what little you can get back for him, because you do not pay a good 3-and-D player a max. And Colin is under the impression of you were so close to give him a max and run it back, and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out.
Yeah, but when you're, I agree with you. I'll just say, when you have, look at how that worked out for the Rockets with Robert Covington. Like, Robert Covington is probably the best 3-and-D player in the entire league.
Not anymore.
Not named, or when he got that contract, he was. When they didn't give him a big contract, but they did give up assets to get him. And Mikal Bridges is a little bit more than a good 3-and-D player. Like, I think he is a little bit better at creating for himself than most 3-and-D guys are. But his role, it's not going to change with, like, Devin Booker and Chris Paul are both elite shot creators.
So is Cameron Payne.
So is Cameron Payne, dude. PG1. I would say, first of all, prioritize re-signing Chris Paul. Even if, he's 36, give him whatever he wants. Give him 3 years, $100 million. Mm-hmm. Because then even, like, I know it's a lot to pay a 36? Is he 36?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think he's the same age as LeBron. I know it's a lot to pay a 36-year-old, 6-foot point guard with injury issues $100 million and $30 million a year. But maybe, like, backload that contract a little bit so that you can still sign players now, because more than likely he is not going to be productive for the entirety of that contract. I would say he's probably got a year or two of like really great basketball left in him. Mm-hmm. And maybe that third year he could still be productive, but
not second star
productive. But maybe at that point DeAndre Ayton's ready to be the second star, because he had a great playoff run, kind of, except for like kind of a lot of the finals.
Yeah, but
he's also 22,
like, first finals, and Giannis.
Yeah, it's first of all, okay, back to Mikal Bridges. If Mikal Bridges wants a max, don't.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And that's just a report. I don't know how much he wants it now because they've tasted the finals, but
yeah, the report was like a couple weeks ago. I think it was like right after the first round of the playoffs, maybe, that he wanted max money. I'd give him $100 million over like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'd say, there you go. Like, because I guess I don't really value.
Well, his max will be lower because he's never been an all-star.
Yeah.
But it's still, I feel like, a big overpay for that.
Yeah, I guess I don't really like value a 3-and-D wing the same as a lot of people do. Because I just don't think that wing defense is that important. Like, it is important, but like
a point guard who wants to score 20 will score 20 regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can put Kawhi Leonard on Trae Young, he'll probably still drop 20.
And like a great defensive center can directly prevent baskets from anybody in the entire league. Like, say what you want about Rudy Gobert, everybody hates him. But, like, he is really good at preventing balls from going into the basket. And you can't really say that about Ben Simmons. Like, it's just more intangible based. But Ben Simmons still, like, gets 40 dropped on him a lot. And
even good defense doesn't stop the perimeter because there's so much space. You have the pick and roll with a post that's a lot more condensed. And even if guys are even if a team is shooting 33s a night, they have to go to the basket eventually.
That's why a guy like Bam or Giannis, I think, is significantly more valuable than a guy like Ben Simmons or Mikal Bridges or Kawhi Leonard defensively. Because
it's why guards don't win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes, exactly. Like, they can guard the perimeter. They're super long, so they can get out there, and then when it matters, they can move laterally, get into the paint, and block shots. Yeah. That is the ideal defensive player, because people are right when they say Rudy Gobert is limited. Mm-hmm. But I'm also right when I say Ben Simmons is limited. Like, so, it's a tough thing. Maybe if he had, like, I just don't know. Maybe if he had that ability, like he was a couple inches taller and a little longer and could get into the paint and block shots. But even then, like, that's what Robert Covington did, and
he's like fine.
He's fine. Like, he's not that great. Like, Klay Thompson is a good example of an elite 3-and-D guy, but he's also one of the 5 best 3-point shooters ever.
Yes. He's more than an elite 3-and-D guy. Yeah. He's an all-star caliber shooter that plays pretty good defense.
His defense is complementary to his game.
His off-ball movement alongside Steph Curry is what makes him so lethal.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'll say this. I don't think they need... First of all, I am not one to say, oh, a team had a fraudulent Mickey Mouse playoff run, because injuries happen. But stuff has to line up a certain way for a team like the Suns to get to the finals. It's just how it goes.
If the Lakers were healthy, they're bounced first round.
If the Lakers were healthy, they're probably bounced first round. If the Clippers were healthy, maybe they're bounced in the Western Conference Finals. Like, and I say maybe because that was a pretty close series as it was, and I don't know like what Kawhi would do, but.
And that same goes for the Bucks. If the
same
Nets
goes
were
for
healthy,
the Bucks. If the Nets were healthy, they probably lose. And like if the Hawks, if the they play in the second round, if Ben Simmons doesn't play the worst he could have possibly played,
if Ben Simmons doesn't play like he's hurt.
Yeah, exactly. They probably win that series. Like, it's just how the playoffs are. Like, nobody's going to remember that in 5 years. Yeah. But, like...
That's why it's so annoying every year when people are like, oh, this championship has an asterisk.
Mickey Mouse playoff run, this doesn't count. Like, injuries happen every year. But, that being said, unless you're a super team...
It's something to consider.
You can't rely on teams, like... on just being better than everybody. Yeah. And the Suns were just better than everybody because they were the most healthy team in the West.
Which is crazy because I have Chris Paul.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I'll say this. I don't really think Mikal Bridges staying or leaving makes that much of a difference in their ability to run it back. Like, I think as long as they have Chris Paul, as long as they have Devin Booker, as long as DeAndre Ayton continues to improve, they could probably be a good playoff team. But, like, what about the Lakers? Like, what about the Clippers?
And we'll get on to the Lakers a little bit later.
Yes. What about, like, what's the timeline for all these teams? Warriors, fully healthy. Like,
the Warriors fully healthy. Jamal Murray coming back healthy.
Exactly. Like, it is what it is. You gotta catch some breaks, but you don't usually catch that many breaks in back-to-back years. Like, good teams make the playoffs, great teams win the finals. And yeah. I don't know, the Suns kind of toe that line, I think, between a good and a great team.
Well, you got to think, I mean, over half the teams in the league make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and only one can win the championship. And only two can get to the championship. And it's really, like, what is that? Like, 2 out of 16, that's like 12% of teams that enter the playoffs go to the championship. It is hard to repeat. That's why LeBron's 10 straight finals is so, or was it
9
out of 10?
9 straight finals appearances.
Yes.
I think.
That's why LeBron, or no, it was 9 in 10 years, I think, because he missed 2019 and then went back in 2020. Because it was 2011 to 2018 and then 2020.
Yes.
That's why him going, regardless, like, who fucking cares? Like, regardless, his finals, 9 out of 10 finals is stupid. Like, 8 straight finals, that is almost impossible to do with an ever-changing group around him. Like, and he wasn't even playing in the West. Like, the West is absolutely loaded always.
Yeah.
It's hard to have the same things go your way twice. I don't think that they have a top 10 player. Like, Devin Booker's great. I think he's top 5. I think he's like maybe 15th, but they don't have a top 10 player, and it's hard to get to the finals without a top 10 player.
Yeah. And you know, maybe they get. I mean, there's always a possibility they do get there, but it's just
there is, and maybe like
it's just so much more slim.
Yeah, maybe they like. I don't know who a good free agent is for them to sign. That could be like maybe DeMar DeRozan. That would actually be bad, probably.
I don't know if that would be great.
I think losing Bridges and getting DeRozan would probably make them a little worse.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, just on the point of bringing in a new player and getting rid of one you already have.
Yeah, he's not a great defender, and he's not a great 3-point shooter, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they bring in somebody that's able to help their defense. Like, maybe they trade for Miles Turner, get an elite rim protector.
I already have Ayton. You don't want to run them both at the same time.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But Miles has gotten a little bit better at guarding their perimeter. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's tough. Like, it's... Maybe they... Like, we don't...
Move.
The off-season is young.
Yeah.
That being said, I probably would not give Mikal Bridges an absolute ton of money because I don't think that the Suns are... If he was the very last piece for them to be an elite, absolute, definite, legit contender... I would say yes, but I don't really feel like they are that. I feel like they're a very good team that if they catch some breaks, they can be good. But like, they're not the Nets, they're not the Lakers, like they're not a super team. Same thing with the Bucks. The Bucks, although I do think the Bucks have a better overall roster, maybe. especially with like DiVincenzo and like.
I would say so, just based on durability and age.
Yeah.
They have more experience, but they have younger guys.
Their three best players, or two of their three best players, are under 30.
Yeah. And Drew Holiday's like right there.
Yeah, he's 31.
Right.
Don't know where that went. Not in the trash. So now that we got the finals out of the way.
Draft
or trades. Trades were pretty lame, except for Russell Westbrook to the Los Angeles Lakers. I guess we'll do trades.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook was traded to the Lakers for
his
Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and a Trez and like a first.
Which is, by the way, a way better package than the Rockets got for him.
Yeah, John Wall and
the worst contract in the league and a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Ugh. First of all, is there a super team in Washington, D.C.? Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal, Montrezl Harrell, Corey Kispert, Rui Hachimura,
Moritz Wagner.
Mo Wagner. Like, that's probably 6 All-Stars right there.
And they still have Isaac Bonga, who's developing.
They still have Isaac Bonga. Maybe they don't have Isaac.
I don't know if he's in the league anymore. Let's look this up. This is very important.
I got this. Is Isaac Bonga still in the NBA?
Because if he is, then I think they're a championship favorite.
Yeah, I definitely do too. Isaac Bonga is only 21.
Well, I knew he was young. I mean, he was drafted like 3
years.
Yeah,
he's on the Wizards still.
Okay.
GOAT.
So the Wizards are serious contenders at this point.
Yes. This is a team that could very easily win the finals next year. They are definitely a super team.
Yes.
Like, for sure.
I mean, you don't just have 7 all-star caliber players and not be a super team.
Yeah.
Poor Bradley Beal. He said he doesn't want to leave, so I don't even feel bad for him anymore.
Dude, I don't know what he's doing. Like, it's at the point where I'm like, is it just too much of a pain in the ass to, like, sell your house right now that he just doesn't want to move? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, you can't even say, like, oh, free Bradley Beal, because he's not in
prison.
He doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want
to leave. But does this make the Lakers a super team? Because I am under the opinion that any team with 2 top 10 players and an additional top 25 player is a super team. Like, I consider the Nets a super team, and I think that Anthony Davis and LeBron are, like, pretty much, like, I don't know what I think about where I have LeBron ranked, but I do know that Anthony Davis is pretty close to LeBron or Harden in my rankings. I don't know if he's above or below him. Mm-hmm. And then Russell Westbrook is, like, pretty close to Kyrie too. So if I consider the Nets a super team, I need to consider the Lakers one.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say at face value, yes, but I got to take health into account. Like, I don't know where Anthony Davis and LeBron are in terms of rehab.
And also space value.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Like, will they, though? Because they don't have, like the KCP was one of their best 3-point shooters.
Yeah, now they have Talen Horton-Tucker on the rise.
Talen Horton-Tucker...
Future all-star Talen Horton-Tucker.
Okay, the Lakers' depth is so bad now that, I mean, I can imagine Dennis Schroeder is probably going to walk because they don't want to have $400 million
Well, the Kings turned down a sign-and-trade for him, I mean.
Yeah, if they get healed, I think that makes them better significantly.
Well, yeah, because he's a really good 3-point shooter.
You know, like, they just picked up Mac McClung, who went undrafted. He's probably going to get, like, legit minutes off the bench for them.
Yeah.
Like, Caruso might be starting next year. Like, it's going to be...
I mean, he can hit some threes.
Andre Drummond might be their starting center next year.
They did say AD's getting more center rotation minutes next season.
Can you imagine a lineup? Russell Westbrook, Talen Horton-Tucker, LeBron, I'll say Marc Gasol at power forward, AD at center.
I really want to see that happen.
Marc Gasol is like the best 3-point shooter in that lineup.
Yeah. I really want to see that happen, actually, because I want to see the Lakers fail.
Yeah, you know, I did see that there was a report that came out that LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook all met in LA a couple weeks ago to, like, talk about doing this, and which I feel like is definitely tampering, but I don't know.
Just players having talks.
He's just having lunch. Just getting together and chilling.
They're friends.
Yeah, he's just hanging. What do you mean? What do you mean it's tampering? They're just hanging out.
Yep.
What bunch of friendly.
It was just a
friends?
coincidence that the Lakers offered the package the Wizards wanted.
Yes, exactly. You know, and they all got together, and Russell Westbrook and LeBron discussed their roles, and you know, I like if Russell Westbrook is willing to just be a ball distributor, like he kind of was, like he got into a rhythm with the Rockets right before the quarantine break. And they were really good, and he was letting James Harden be the main scorer, and he was the main producer.
He's just too wild.
He is pretty wild.
Like, you don't, even if you're his coach, you don't know what he's going to do next on the court, and that's worrying.
Yes.
For a team that has championship aspirations.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think he's still, like, an all-star level player. I do think he's top 25 still, so I can't really... Even though the spacing is going to suck.
The thing is, when you have three really good, experienced players, they'll figure it out.
Like, yeah, it's not like these are three guys who could retire tomorrow in their first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Like, they're like that big three is pretty loaded. It's just like, is it loaded in the way like the Nets are loaded? Like, is it loaded in the way they're not loaded in the way the Warriors were loaded?
Right.
But also, like, don't count out LeBron. You know, I mean, Russell Westbrook, I don't think it's about Russell Westbrook. Like, Russell Westbrook's ego is the thing that gets thrown out. Like, it's a major criticism of him.
He's just a wild.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, he's shown nothing but willingness to take a lesser scoring role on a team.
And if his ego is that big of a problem, all of his former teammates would hate him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Kevin Durant, even though he's talked shit about the Thunder, he's never... I don't think he said a bad word about Russell Westbrook. Like,
no, the only thing I could think of is when he first left OKC, they had, like, a little beef. But,
yeah.
Like, that was not
But I think that
personal.
was more just because he left to go to the Warriors,
attack.
not because he left.
Right.
Like, I remember that one when Kevin Durant got exposed for having burners. He was like, he tweeted that, like, Russ and KD just didn't like the organization. Russ and KD felt like they were alone. So he was talking about Russ and KD. Like, he wasn't talking about just KD. He was like, felt alone, and, you know, Harden loves him. Like, Paul George still loves him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's a little harder to love him when he's going 3 of 20 in the playoffs. But he also might not have to do that with Anthony Davis and LeBron, and maybe he can just set up Anthony Davis like that lob
Maybe
threat.
He can be 3 of 10.
Maybe he can be 3 of 10. That lob threat, that's like 3 guys who can all catch lobs and 2 guys who can throw them well. Like, that's going to be... That Lakers team
in Caruso?
Yeah.
Oh, they're throwing it down.
That Lakers team is going to be kind of nasty next year, actually. At least offensively. I don't know about their defense.
I am worried that this may be a similar situation to the Philadelphia tall ball lineup. Not in the sense of tall players, but in the sense of the way these players play.
Zero spacing.
Yeah.
Like, Tobias Harris is the best 3-point shooter.
Tobias Harris is the Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
Like, which, you know, again, it might not be. I think Frank Vogel is a better coach
Russell
than
Westbrook.
Brett
I think
Brown.
that's kind of an insult. I think Russell Westbrook is significantly better on offense than Ben Simmons is.
Well, I wasn't saying like just offense in general. I was talking about like how the team is structured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Frank Vogel's a better coach than Brett Brown. And I think that...
No shit, really?
Yeah. Hot take.
Yeah.
Brett Brown's not a good coach.
Yeah.
I know, crazy.
You
know, don't kill me, but yeah, I think they'll figure it out. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I expect that team... I'm not super... I am confident that if the Nets are healthy, they're coming out of the East.
Yes.
I am not confident that if the Lakers are healthy, they're coming out of the East. And maybe that's the West. They definitely wouldn't come out of the East.
Well, that'd be impossible.
Yeah, but there is kind of a, like, I do consider them both super teams, but there are levels. Like, the Lakers, actually, they're probably about the same. The Lakers are, if anything, more healthy than the Nets.
Yeah. But the Nets have a deeper roster overall.
The Nets do, and that's sad because the Nets have, like, 6 playable players. Like, the Nets have, like, 6 guys that I am comfortable, and I'm assuming Spencer Dinwiddie is going to leave and, like, get paid.
Yeah.
But like the Nets have
I don't think that picked up.
I don't think it did either. My pugs just started barking. But like, can you name anybody on that Lakers roster? Like, I could name probably 7 to 10 players on the Nets right now, I think, including Dinwiddie. Like,
in terms of role players,
like,
I mean, they traded Dinwiddie. The 3 notable ones.
Dinwiddie, Durant, Kyrie, James Harden, Nick Claxton, Bruce Brown. Shamet isn't there anymore. Joe Harris. DeAndre Jordan. You said Blake Griffin.
You said Bruce Brown already?
Yeah. So that's 9 guys.
That's their rotation.
Jeff Green.
There's a 10-man rotation.
And then if you take out, I did mention Dinwiddie, so that's 9. Yeah. Like the Lakers, it's like, okay, LeBron, Russ, AD. Drummond, maybe. Do you think they re-sign him?
Actually, they might have to. Now.
Yeah, Drummond.
They might not have many choices.
Gasol, Caruso, Talen Horton-Tucker. And then, like, Mac McClung.
I mean, that's really all they had. They just traded their 3 notable players.
I'm gonna need to bring this up anyway, so I might as well just bring up the NBA draft order. I don't know if they had any draft picks, did they? I feel like they definitely didn't have a first.
They traded...
And then it was a 2022 first for Russ.
I thought it was the 22nd pick.
Maybe it was. Yeah, they drafted Isaiah Jackson, but he was traded to the Wizards and then the Pacers. So I'm trying to see if there's anybody that's going to play. They did not keep a single draft pick this year.
Yeah.
So
that team has to stay healthy. If there's one injury, that team crumbles.
Yeah, especially if it's to, like, LeBron.
Oh, they have Ben McLemore and Markieff Morris.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah, so
I had to look that up. I didn't remember it, by the way.
Which, no fault on you.
And do they still have Kostas, or is he gone? Is he in Greece now?
Kostas... Is he on their official roster? Is he like... Because sometimes they have
the ESPN roster.
Because sometimes the guys that are on two-way... Is he on a two-way contract or is he like official?
He does not have a salary for them right now.
Okay, so sometimes the guys that are on two-way contracts, they won't put on the official roster, or they'll put them at like the very, very bottom, because technically they're like only half on the team.
Jared Dudley is like their 8th man, so...
Oh my god.
There's that.
Like, Mac McClung was a guy that I think is, like, fine for college, but I don't...
I mean, he's on their summer league team, right? He's not even on their official roster yet.
Yeah, no, I think he did. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Regardless, that's pretty thin. Like,
yeah, no, that's not a good team there.
Yeah.
Training camp deal with the Lakers.
Got it. Okay.
So, yeah, that's a bad team. Aside from, like, their front 4.
Really, their front 3. Like, you think Andre Drummond's that good?
I'm always saying more.
Or are you saying Caruso?
Yeah. Which is still not a good 4th, but...
No, but he's at least provides some sort of defensive value. Like, he will hustle.
And he's
just like the classic, like, the white guy thing. Like, he can't do anything else, but he'll go out there and he'll hustle. Like T.J. McConnell.
Dude, T.J. McConnell should have been Defensive Player of the Year.
Facts, dude. Who else is getting... 8 steals in a game?
Who else is almost getting a quadruple-double with steals?
Exactly, bro. All right, any other major trades? The Pistons were smart and did not trade the first-round pick.
Yes, that is
first
correct.
Overall pick, not first round.
I mean, there were some, like, minor draft trades.
Moses Brown.
The Pacers traded Aaron Holiday for the...
Yeah, that did make me a little sad. I like Aaron Holiday. But he's also not that great, so it is what it is.
There's multiple teams showing interest in Lonzo Ball. But other than that, there wasn't anything like... Oh, yeah, Mason Plumlee is such a negative asset that the Pistons traded him to go down 20 picks in the second round. Apparently that's a thing. Even though I thought he played, like, fine. Like, he wasn't good.
Yeah, it's just they gave him a 3-year, $25 million.
Yeah, because they're stupid and didn't plan 1 year ahead. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, like, the Cavs got Ricky Rubio for Taurean Prince.
And a second-round pick. Don't forget that.
Yeah. The Nets traded Landry Shamet for Javon Carter.
Yeah, I kind of liked the Nets draft, actually. They did add a little bit of depth. Like, it's always funny to see, like, a team draft in the late first round or, like, second round and be like, that guy is going to play immediately because that team is not deep at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, even though the Nets are probably a significantly better team than the Pacers, I could look at the Pacers draft last year and be like, no way in hell, and even this year maybe, like, no way in hell is Cassius Stanley playing. But if the Nets drafted Cassius Stanley, I would have been like, that's a probably 25-minute per game guy.
Yeah.
Like, at 54 overall, like...
One thing I did want to talk about, and we talked about this before we started recording, the 76ers think Ben Simmons is like a top 5 player in the NBA.
Oh my god, dude.
There were reports that they were throwing out these ridiculous trades for Ben Simmons.
Stupid.
Like... Hold on, let me see if I can...
4 first-round picks, 3 pick swaps, and one of the Spurs' young players was what they wanted from San Antonio.
7 picks and probably, like
Keldon Johnson or DeJounte Murray.
Or Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, like, that's a trade package that I am legitimately questioning. Like, would I give that up for Bradley Beal?
Right.
Like, and he's probably the... Like, I use him because he's probably the best guy that I think is going to be traded this offseason. I don't think Dame will be traded. But Bradley Beal is the best guy that's going to be on the trade market. And I don't even know if I would give up, like, 4 first-round picks, 3 pick swaps, and, like, a DeJounte Murray or a Keldon Johnson for him. Like, that is a legitimate... Like, that's essentially 7 first-round picks that you're giving up for somebody. And, like, if you're not, like... I would give that up for James Harden, Anthony Davis, really any, like, top 10, 12 player... Not even close to what I'd give up for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is like a 2 first-round pick in Keldon, or 2 first-round pick in DeJounte Murray. That's what I would do if I'm the Sixers, and I'd be happy if I'm the Sixers if I get 2 first-round picks and DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, because like we get it, Ben Simmons can probably be a fine player.
He's an all-star. He can probably be a fine all-star.
He didn't deserve to be an all-star this year.
He did not.
But yeah, this was his worst year. You don't trade a guy for his highest asking price on his worst year.
Yeah, it's just...
Like, here's a report. Woj on what Philly's initially asking for Ben Simmons. They're asking for a lot, almost a Harden-esque type package of all-stars players,
that's ridiculous.
draft
Harden's
picks, and
Harden
pick swaps.
was a borderline top 5 player going into this offseason.
Yeah.
Or last offseason, I guess.
It's just dumb.
Yeah, it's
like, I get you wanna he's a young guy, he has potential, you want to get max value, but you're not gonna get max value for a guy that just had the terrible playoffs that he just had.
Yeah. And maybe it's like, I mentioned this before in a TikTok, but I was like, maybe Daryl Morey's trying to go like big brain and just set the asking price crazy high, so when other GMs talk him down, it's like,
yeah, but they're not.
He gets
stupid.
Probably more than market value. Exactly, but these aren't like 5-year-olds. These are guys who know the value of Ben Simmons, and they're not going to give up more than they think they should.
This would work on your average high school sophomore, not experienced NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
Managers.
Like Kevin Pritchard is not going to be like,
He's asking for 7 picks. I think I could talk him down to 5.
Yeah, exactly. Like 5 is still bad for Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
What? I can't see.
Big like truck outside or something. Oh, it's a FedEx truck.
Ooh, FedEx.
I'm not expecting
sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, FedEx, hit us up. So I don't know. Like I'd give up 2 first-round picks and DeJounte Murray for Ben Simmons. If I'm the Sixers, I'm happy. 2 first-round picks and maybe like a first-round pick swap down the road.
That's more than you're getting for almost any other team.
Yeah.
Except like maybe the Timberwolves will give you D'Angelo Russell.
Yes. Like I would like, if I'm the Sixers and I get, like, a really good defensive guard who can also distribute pretty well and shoot, or I guess isn't terrified to shoot,
that's an upgrade.
That's an upgrade. And getting 2 first-round picks, like, I think, like, maybe DeJounte Murray's, like, development time, like, where everybody thought he was an all-star is past, but he's still a pretty good player. Yeah. And I'd be pretty happy if I got...
And he won't pass up a wide-open layup.
And he won't pass up a wide-open layup in the playoffs. Oh, my God.
I could probably have won them the series.
Oh. It's just so painful. I don't even like Ben Simmons or the Sixers, and it's just like... Ugh.
Yeah.
Just, like, horrific to think about.
What if they did a sign... Or the Lakers did a sign-and-trade Schroeder for Ben Simmons?
I think that would make both teams worse. Like, as bad as Ben Simmons was, Schroeder is, oh my god. Especially if you give him a huge contract, I think he kind of turns into a negative asset at that point.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ben Simmons is on a
That's true.
$50 million deal?
That's true. So let's talk about the draft.
The draft.
First overall pick, big surprise. I know we were all shocked.
It was me.
Aditya go first overall.
Yep.
So what do you think about Detroit? Excited?
Oh,
to play with Jeremy Grant?
Hell yeah. I'm about to win a championship.
Nice. All right. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley. Feel like that was a pretty...
I think everyone saw that one coming.
Yeah, that was pretty much the guaranteed top 3.
The 4th pick got crazy.
Yeah.
I think everyone thought it was going to be...
I thought it was going to be Suggs.
I think everyone thought it was going to be Suggs.
But I didn't think Scotty Barnes was a bad pick there. Like, it's really hard to go wrong with a FSU wing. Like, Bulls got Patrick Williams. I think they'd probably pick him again.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd take a Coro, but I don't even know about that. He's pretty good. I like Suggs to the Magic. Josh Giddey to the Thunder was the one that kind of made my jaw drop when I got that notification, because I wasn't watching the draft. I was watching a show somewhere with the boy Jacob, and
shout out Jacob. And I got the Woj notification on my watch, and I was like, holy shit. Because Josh Giddey was a guy that I thought would go, like, maybe end of the lottery. Like, he was a guy who's, like, I watched his stuff because it was a possibility the Pacers would draft him. So to see him go 6th overall was crazy. I don't hate this pick. Thunder are just having fun with their draft picks.
Yeah. I don't hate this pick as much as a lot of people do, because I think it is kind of... You probably, like, don't know...
I probably don't.
But there's this guy named Josh Allen in the NFL. Like, anybody...
Oh, I know NFL.
Yeah, but Josh Allen was drafted a couple years ago as probably, like, the most raw quarterback prospect in the history of the league. He's really good now. So maybe that's it. Like, they're making taking the super raw guy with big upside, because Josh Giddey has it.
It's not like they're going to compete in the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Time. And they've done that now in back-to-back years where they've taken the most raw guy possible. Like, they took Pukashevsky last year, and now Giddey this year.
And they developed Lou Dort.
From undrafted into the best defensive player in the league.
I would say.
Depoy Lou Dort.
Yep.
Let's get it going. Kuminga at 7. I really liked what the Warriors did. I think that they might have had the best overall draft. They only had 2 picks, but Kuminga at 7 and Moody at 14 are both value picks. I thought Kuminga could maybe go 5, and I thought Moody could maybe go top 10. And I know that they are not going to help them win right now. Like, Kuminga is 18 years old. He is good, but he's also raw, and then Moody's pretty raw.
What positions do they play?
I think they're both like kind of shooting guard / wings.
Okay. So they have Wiseman and those 2 guys once the Curry era is over.
Exactly. And I think that it's kind of like they took, instead of trading those picks, they took those guys so that they can be like, yeah, we just took the best available prospect, and then, like, if a Damian Lillard goes on the market or a Bradley Beal goes on the market, they can say, here are these 2 elite prospects we got this year, James Wiseman, and, like, 4 first-round picks. I don't know.
And while it would be great to win another championship now, they've already won 3.
Yeah, but you gotta, like, you're not gonna get another Steph Curry. You do kind of have to.
No, I get that, but what I mean by that is you're not in a rush to trade all of your possible assets to get one more. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just unnecessary.
Franz Wagner at 8.
To who? The Magic?
Magic.
Why wouldn't you just let the Kings draft him, man?
I thought that was a bad pick.
Yeah, it is a bad pick.
He's like a 3 and like he's not like an upside guy. Like, I don't think he has like he kind of just screams like okay 3 and D player. Like, maybe he has 1 year where he shoots 40% from 3, which is valuable, but it's also like
8th
overall pick. Like, that's really what you want. Like, with Moses Moody, like Chris Duarte, who the Pacers got, is probably a better player right now.
Yeah, but he's older.
He is, but like, who gives a shit? Like, he's better than what Franz Wagner does. Franz Wagner, like, neither of them
aren't trying to compete.
Neither of them have good upside right now. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't think Franz Wagner is like a developmental prospect. Like, he's kind of what he is now, and I don't think he's going to get that much better. Davion Mitchell at 9 was a weird pick, but I do like it because he's like kind of a small, like, explosive guard.
Yeah, but now they have 3 of those.
They do, But I think
they have more if you count like Buddy Hield.
I think you can move Halliburton to small forward. Like I wouldn't love that.
Do you want to pull a Tyreek Evans on Tyrese Halliburton though?
Well, but don't make him play like that. Just make him guard small forwards. But he's not that great at defense anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I thought that the Hornets had a really good draft too. I liked Book Knight and Kai Jones. Like Kai Jones was a guy I thought that they would draft at 11, and they got him at 19. They're building a good core for LaMelo, I think. Like that is a super young core. And then the Pacers. The Pacers had 13 and 22. Well, 13, and then they traded for the 22nd overall pick. I like Duarte. He's not a developmental guy, but I also don't like the Pacers development staff. So when I saw Pacers fans complaining about not taking Moses Moody or like Usman Garuba, I was kind of like, what were we going to do with a developmental player? Like, really, what was our plan with that? Because we haven't exactly been stellar at developing talent over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I was fine with Duarte. And then we did get our developmental guy. Like, Isaiah Jackson is not going to play day one. He's got some pretty elite traits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the guys past, like, the first few. And even the first few, I just know about them from other people talking about them.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that the hold on, I want to find something where it has where the players play, because I think here it is. Okay. 1 2 Talk for a second.
What?
I'm counting something real quick.
Oh, we're doing some quick math. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I will fill the space. So from what I heard from Ryan, Chris Duarte is a better version of Franz Wagner.
Ryan's also an Oregon fan, so you kind of got to take what he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but he's the only one that talks about him.
Well, that's true.
But I do like where we're going. I think if we can package like Malcolm Brogdon
or Miles Turner, because now we have 4 centers.
I was gonna say Malcolm Brogdon and like another piece or a pick or something and upgrade the guard position. I think that could be valuable, and have like a good point guard next to Karis LeVert. Yes. I like the Rick Carlisle hire because I think he's obviously a very good coach. I wish we could bring back Nate McMillan and apologize, but
I like Carlisle though. I'm fine with him.
I do. Well, like if you got them both,
Yeah.
That'd be sick. I mean, it wouldn't make sense.
Co-parenting?
Yeah. It wouldn't make sense. It'd be a really bad idea in practice, but in theory, it's cool. You have to think about.
So I did some quick math. The G League Ignite team had 3 top 31 picks. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I think that's an awesome experiment, and I think it went really well.
It worked out.
And 2 of them were top 10 picks. Kuminga and Jalen Green.
Mm-hmm. And they were probably like the stars of the Ignite team anyway. They're like getting the most touches, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, so it's definitely a viable path for future players.
Yes.
It's like the NBA has made it known, come to us, college is not required. You can get paid and get drafted high.
It didn't exactly make a difference for like Jalen Green. Like if anything, it helped his draft stock.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I do like that. I do like that worked because that was something that I wasn't sure was going to work.
We do have to see how they play in the NBA though, because if that doesn't translate well, then the whole thing kind of...
We do, but also, like, if Evan Mobley stinks...
Yeah.
Maybe the first couple years of this, if the guys suck, it could be kind of bad, but it's also, like, plenty of players make the college to NBA jump and also are bad. So.
Yeah, but in practice...
Like, if Jalen Green sucks, that could be concerning, but, like, if Kuminga and Isaiah Todd aren't as good...
The problem is that college basketball has a multiple... decade sample size, while the Ignite team has a 3-player sample size right now. So it seems a lot more impactful early on.
I'm going to look up to see who the roster is for next year.
For Ignite? Yeah. Have they announced, have they gotten players and stuff for it already? I don't know if that's happened.
I don't know.
I don't remember when they did it last year, but I don't know. I mean, the idea of being able to get paid and have essentially the same impact as college in terms of as a basketball prospect is very useful.
Yeah. They got a highly touted international prospect.
Is that all so far?
Yeah, potential 2022 lottery pick Daniels signs with G League Ignite. That was on June 20th. Dyson Daniels. He is... Oh, yeah, okay. The 18-year-old joins 5-star recruits Jaden Hardy, Michael Foster, and Scoot Henderson on the Ignite's 2021-2022 squad.
Scoot
so that's
Henderson?
four 5-star guys at least. And Scoot Henderson. I'm going to
look this guy up. That sounds like a guy the Pacers need. I mean, he just fits the Indiana theme at that point.
Scoot Henderson has a big wingspan. Look at that. Yeah, he's 17. He's 6'4", 181. Oh yeah, there he is with Anthony Edwards. That picture.
Oh, okay. So he's an NBA.
Yeah, I mean, if Anthony Edwards is going to watch him play, like that's a good player.
He's not some. See, again, when I heard Scoot Henderson, I imagined some guy that looks like he shoots on a basket in his farmhouse or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That's what I.
Okay, let me look up the 2022 class rankings and see how many guys. Oh, his name is Scooter.
Oh, so okay.
So it's not Scoot. Maybe people just call him Scoot.
That's such a bad nickname.
Yeah.
They gotta fix
Scooter
that.
is a way cooler name, by the way.
Scooter, that's sick.
All right, 2020. All right, 2022 NBA, or no, not NBA, basketball recruit rankings. Let's see if they got any, because I feel like Jalen Green was like a top 15 or 20 or top 5 or 10 recruit. Amoni Bates is in this class. Okay.
Where is he going to school?
There is a potential. He committed to Michigan State and then decommitted to Michigan State. So there's a potential.
Bro, imagine if the Ignite team is just 10 like 5-star athletes.
That would be crazy. There's a really good chance he signs with the Ignite team.
Where's old Chet going?
Chetster is going to Gonzaga. He almost went to Michigan. That's the only time I'm ever rooting for Michigan to get a good recruit, because that would have been really funny to see Noah's reaction.
He would have been upset.
He would have been very upset. All right. Jaden Hardy, Michael Foster, Scoot Henderson. Jaden Hardy is the 17th best recruit. He's going to with the Ignite team. Dyson Daniels, let's see where he is. I thought his name was Gradley. Grady Dick.
Gradley.
Gradley. Oh my God.
Someone should name their kid Gradley. I'm sure that's out there somewhere. I mean, parents are weird.
Where's the boy Dyson Daniels?
Is his first name Dyson and his last name Daniels? Like that's an actual thing or a nickname?
I think it's Dyson. Yeah, like the washing machine company.
Oh, I was thinking like Dyson, like Dicin, like Dyson fruit. You know, like Fruit Ninja stuff. Like slice and dice. You know
That's
what
good.
I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I was picturing.
All right, let's see, because they should have the names right next to them.
Thought it was like a play on words, like a nickname for him being a really good slasher or something.
Yeah. Scoot Henderson.
Please call him Scooter, please.
Scoot Henderson. He has a New York Times article written about him, about how he chose the G League. He is the... God damn it, just show me. All right, 24/7 Sports ranks him as the 9th best recruit, yet I don't see him in their recruit rankings. Is he class of 2023, maybe?
Then what is he? Then how's he already committed to the Ignite?
Wait, I'm looking at the wrong class. I need to be looking at 2021.
But the 2021 to 2022 class.
So the Chetster, Gonzaga. Paolo Banchero, who's the 2nd best recruit, Duke. Jaden Hardy. Shit, I need to pull up that article.
He's the Ignite guy, right?
Yes, I believe so. Dyson Daniel. Okay, Jaden Hardy is on the Ignite team, so 3rd overall prospect. Keep this in your brain, because I'm not going to remember.
3rd.
The Wizards won't extend a qualifying offer on forward Isaac Bonga, making him an unrestricted free agent.
No.
Max contract.
Wizards, Pacers, you're fumbling the bag.
Pacers, get on it. Okay, so Jaden Hardy's 3. Scoot is 9.
Scoot is my new favorite player. Whenever he gets drafted, whatever team he goes to, I'm his fan.
Michael Foster. Michael Foster is 19. And where's Dyson Daniels? Dyson's
a trickster. Is he? Are you looking at the right thing again? Like, is he still?
Yeah, no. This is class of 2021.
Okay.
Dyson Daniels. I missed him. Chetster. There's the Chetster again.
I don't know where we'll find it.
But that's 3 top 20 recruits, and I'll just look them up on 24/7.
Okay, but still, that's a considerable class again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 potential lottery picks.
Dyson Daniels is not ranked. What?
Oh wait, but didn't you just say?
Oh, he's class of 2022. Okay, I don't know what the hell this is.
Whatever.
Oh, he's not ranked on 24/7 because he's international.
Oh, he's the international guy?
Yes.
Okay. I gotcha. But regardless, do they have only one Ignite team, or is there multiple? Because I feel like it'd be better if there were multiple, because then, like, the 4th or 5th guy doesn't just get overshadowed completely.
Yeah, like Ken Reddish on that Duke team.
Or even, like, the 3rd Ignite guy this year. You got taken 31st. He might be a first rounder if he wasn't behind Jalen Green and Kuminga.
If only he went to Michigan.
Yep.
But yeah, that's 3 top 20 recruits. I don't know how good Dyson Daniels is compared to the American recruits, but if he's a top international prospect, he's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama is a class of...
Is he the French guy?
Yes. He's like 7'1", maybe. He's huge. And he's like 16, I think. He's a guy that's coming through the pipes. Watch out for him on the Ignite team. Amoni Bates, he's class of 2022. He's a...
Crip signs for.
I'm not. I'm just doing my fingers. I'm just listing the amount of players.
You guys can't see it. He's throwing up Crip signs right now.
I am not. I'm literally just counting on my fingers.
Nope.
Wembanyama, Amoni Bates, there's a very good chance he signs with the Ignite team. If so, I think a lot of the top 2022 recruits who are still undecided would probably follow him. And that's about it, at least like for guys to watch out for that I think could legit sign. But I also don't really pay that much attention to high school recruiting. So,
I don't pay any attention to high school recruiting.
Yeah. Is that it?
I think so. We covered like the important draft lottery picks, right?
Yeah.
Covered some trades, the finals, and then I think now we're going to get some trades, I'm sure, and then free agency will come up, but I think for the most part...
It might be a boring offseason.
Yeah. I don't think... I mean, there's not going to be a lot of player movement, I don't think. Granted, we thought that, a few years ago. But I don't think there will be too much crazy.
Maybe Kawhi signs a minimum with the Bucks.
Or the Pacers.
Or Pacers.
Yeah.
Or a 10-year minimum contract... $2 million a year for the next 10 years.
That'll add up to $40 million.
That'll add up to 40.
Wait,
20.
20. Yes, I'm
done. Kawhi, we can offer you a 10-year, $20 million contract.
Dude, we can offer you a 10-year 40. Like, I think we can convince the front office of that one.
Yeah. Maybe 10-year 60? Maybe not. It might be tough.
There might be some negotiations needed there, but we could get something going. Just hit us at Kawhi, call us.
Hit us up.
Yeah, we'll
be
relay
your direct
your
line of communication to the Pacers front office.
We'll be your
Me
agents.
and Pritchard boys.
We'll get this done. We'll get the we'll get a deal made. So just hit us up. You know me. We're like best friends. So just call me.
We're probably me and you are probably better friends, Kawhi, I would say. Than you
I don't know. We hang out like all the time. So
yeah, but I go to his house and we play video games.
Yeah, but we play pickup basketball every day pretty much.
Sometimes he'll just have me sleep on the couch. Sometimes he'll be like, I'm so cool that I want you to sleep over here.
He let me drive his car, so
he let me drive his tank. He has a tank.
Oh, he has a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already knew that because I saw it. I was there when he bought it, actually.
Yeah, I was there.
I was like his little guy on his shoulder. I was like, this is a really cool tank. You should buy it.
I was there when he bought the first tank before that one, so.
No, just see, that's how I know you're lying.
And then the private jet. The private jet. The private jet.
I was there for the birth of his kids, so.
Yeah, I gave birth to his kids, so.
So yeah, Kawhi, hit us up. Let us know which one of us is better friends with you. I know it's me, but make him feel better. Make it official.
I know it's me. Don't listen to Aditya. And also, I'm also why you're on the Clippers. So.
Oh, so you've ruined.
I'm actually Uncle Dennis. That's my alias.
Wow, you suck.
Yeah, sorry, Raptors fans.
See,
maybe didn't think that through.
Yeah, now you got an entire country after you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're dead, that means I'm Kawhi's best friend.
Well,
so,
I mean,
I'll call Drake. We'll get a hit
my
going.
Ghost would probably be his best friend too. Still, so
no, I'll call Drake. We'll get a hit going, get you wiped out. I'll be Kawhi's best friend. Probably cut that out of the video though. I don't want like a paper trail or anything. So
yeah, probably. I mean, but also like the paper trail will be on your computer. So
no, I'll delete it.
All right, we got to end the podcast.
Yeah, we're ranting. Thanks for watching.
We're gonna continue this conversation.
Oh yeah, sure we are. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.